The Dark Angel. How did this all come about? Why Dark Angel? Let me tell you our story. Ahoy, this is Zdenka. I'm a photographer. I've been in photography industry for many years, majority of my life. I am also a dance mom. Dance has been a huge part of our lives for many years now. It's been our second home. The dancers are spending so much time together that the bond between them is simply undeniable. As a photographer, I've come to the point in my life where I simply want to enjoy photography, not only necessarily doing jobs to get paid, and also I want to give back to the community. So The Dark Angel was my last year's summer project. It was my summer 2024 bucket shot. So why Dark Angel? One day I've been scrolling Instagram and I saw these really nice photos of a single ballet dancer wearing white bodysuit and white angel wings, and I thought to myself, how about we get inspired by this and try to create something similar but with a group of dancers. So I reached out to the families and I simply explained to them that, hey, this photo shoot is for our own memories. It's for us, for the dancers. I was hoping to create something a little bit more artistic, so at the end maybe we can hang some of the photos on the wall in our homes. The original idea was to stay with white wings. So I started looking around for where to get the wings and bodysuits, and then Mandy, the studio's creative director, decided to paint all pointe shoes black for the end of year's production, which was amazing, by the way.
Hello, my name is Amanda Dubray. I'm the owner and artistic director of Step with Style Dance Productions.
So instead of white, the Dark Angel, Black Angel was born. It turned out to be actually easier, much better option, as I did not have to worry about the wardrobe since most of the dancers already owned black bodysuits and skirts. I found a woman on Etsy, based in Poland, who makes these custom wings. So I ordered from her the biggest size she offered. Once they arrived, all was left to do is place many heavy items on the wings to make the material flat. The small wings for the rest of the dancers I found on Amazon. The hardest part of the whole shoot was to schedule the group shoot. They either dance or they have something else going on, so if you combine that, the schedule, with good lighting and weather, you end up with limited choices. But we got it done. If you are wondering how many hours a week they dance and what style of dance, let them answer that.
How many hours do I dance a week? I dance Saturday from 10:30 to 4, and then Monday from 4:30 to 9, Wednesday from 5 to 8:45, Thursday from 4:30 to 9. So overall, I feel that is a long time, but it's okay because I like it. I started when I was 4 years old dancing, and I was quite young too, so I didn't really know. So it was definitely my parents' idea, but once I started, it was a lot of fun and I wanted to keep going. My favorite type of dance is definitely musical theater because I love expressing myself with like lots of happiness and excitement, and I just love dancing to it because I can make it my way.
I trained about 16 to 20 hours, then additional for showcases and getting ready for comp. I started in recreational dance when I was younger, I think about 3, and then my parents started me because I was very active. Then when the new studio opened up when I was younger, it was a ballet school. My parents added me there because I liked dancing a lot. Then eventually I came to comp. I remember when I first came to comp that I was very excited to be on stage and try something new. My favorite type of dance is musical theater. I believe my dance strengths are jumps and kicks and anything theater-actrical.
So Monday I dance from 3:30 to 9, which would be 5.5 hours. Tuesday I have off. Wednesday I dance from 3:30 to 9 again, so that's 5.5 again, so it'd be 11. Then Thursday I dance from, I want to say 4:30 until 9:30, so that would be 6 hours, so that's 17. Then Saturday I dance from 10 until 3:30, which would be 5.5 again, so that'd be 23.5, I think. And then Sunday I dance for 3 hours. I started dancing when I was 1.5 years old, and my parents put me into dance because they said I'd been dancing before I was even born. My favorite style of dance is jazz and acro. I find that my dance strengths would be connecting with the audience. I love a routine with a good story, and I also have a really flexible back and I'm good at turns.
I'm pretty sure that I dance about 20 hours a week. When I first came to the studio, I actually don't know how I felt about it, but what I specifically remember for it was there was this big room. It was like the office or like the area for parents to stay. There was this change room in it where I would change there before my classes, and there was a bunch of toys there that I used to play with before. Then I remember when we were going into the class, my teacher was always like, when we were doing this one exercise, it was called rondageons. She always said, okay guys, pretend that your big toe is a piece of chalk, and we're gonna go around and say what color each person's chalk is. And once we all said it, I used to always say rainbow unicorns or something like that. And so she said to imagine that you're drawing a semicircle out of the chalk on the ground. My favorite type of dance is either tap or musical theater. Tap mainly because I enjoy it a lot because of the sounds, and also because it can get challenging at times. And musical theater mainly because I like expressing stuff by actually lip syncing instead of smiling. Some of my dance strengths would be facial expressions when it comes to dancing, sharpness when I really need to, and keeping up with others as a tall person because that is really hard to do.
So in a week, I train about 4.5 hours. When my sister started dancing, I saw her on the stage and I was like, I kind of want to do that. And then I don't know, just there was a bunch of stuff with breakdance, and it was just so cool to watch all of it. So I was like, I should try it. And now I'm just doing it all the time. So my favorite type of dance is breakdance because there's just so much diverse movement. You're up on your toes half the time, you're on the ground. And there's just a bunch of fun moves that you do. I think my dance strength is probably endurance, because with breakdancing, there's a lot more endurance than other types of dance. It kind of just built up endurance over time when we're going up and down, so it's pretty fun.
The camera I was using was Canon M6 Mark II with Voltrox 23mm f1.4 lens. Everything was always on the go. I didn't have extra camera person, so I literally grabbed Insta360 X4 camera, Sony a7S III camera, and Insta360 Go 2 to film behind the scenes. This whole thing was one-person production, including the craft lady. Till this day, I hear Addison all excited. Oh, you've got those Costco sandwiches. It was a lot of fun. They dance so much. They burn so many calories. They are always hungry. You have no idea how much dancers eat. The shooting process was fun and challenging at the same time. My background is in glamour, fashion, and portraits. I don't shoot dancers. I don't have ballet training. I'm not a dance teacher, so naturally and safely, I went with what I know when it comes to poses. Here and there, I let them do their thing when it comes to dance. For Maya's solo shoot, I asked Maya's mom, Mandy, to come along. It was interesting to watch her pose Maya, as it was completely different from my style. She was posing the dancer. Those were dance poses.
Being present at photo shoots is one of my absolute favorite things to do with the kids. I love being able to find different ways to pose their bodies to perfect that line of their foot or their knee, or just pull out the confidence in them in the actual image that we're taking.
It's always a good idea to bring a professional to a shoot. If you're gonna be taking photos of a restaurant and food, bring a chef. If you're gonna be taking photos of medical stuff, like I used to do stock photography, they were always telling me, bring a doctor, because chances are that you're gonna be posing model holding x-ray looking down instead of looking to the light up. What I found really interesting is how they all project differently on the camera. I've been watching them dance on the stage for years, so I kind of knew them. They all have different personalities, and it shows when they dance and when they pose for photos. I've got a mix of shy, goofy, confident, provocative, and cautious personalities. The biggest surprise for me was Edison.
The most goofiest person in the group is definitely Addison.
She has this fun, bubbly personality, sometimes just really goofy, but in photos, she projected very differently. Very mature, feminine, and I'd say almost a full-grown woman. That is just the way camera reads her. That really surprised me when I was editing the photos. Speaking of editing photos, this whole shoot was a combination of fantasy, dance, and digital art. So there are two ways I could go about editing. I could go the natural way, I could keep it the same way we were editing photos for the past 20 years, or I could go with the new trends and tools. Obviously, I decided to go with the new trends and tools. I used Adobe Lightroom first and then Photoshop. In Lightroom, I did the overall look. I tried to use new AI tool to select the model and get the background a bit more blurry, but I was running into many issues with details around the edges of the wings. The AI tool wasn't working the way I wanted, so I struggled a bit. The rest I did in Photoshop. Some photos I made very colorful. I replaced the sky. In some photos, I added river to the photos that were not there. Again, this is all fantasy. There are no limits. It's not supposed to be commercial realistic shoot. Once I was finished editing all the photos, a bit later, I did review a couple different photography software on my channel, and I kind of regret it. I didn't know about them earlier because they do such a better job and faster job. Adobe is something we are used to using for years, so we go there first, but we should be more open-minded and explore new ways of editing. I learned it the hard way. If I look back and just go through the whole shoot and the fun we had last year, I think they had lots of fun and they will have their little special memory from being part of this.
The thing I'll remember the most about this shoot is definitely when we took the group photos. It was fun because all of us were there and we all had like funny photos and stuff, and then there was like the serious ones. So it was a lot of fun because we were all there and it was a lot of fun to shoot.
The experience and the chance to get my photos taken professionally.
I will remember having people work with me, having my friends by my side, and honestly, just the environment was amazing.
What I will remember the most from the shoot is probably just goofing around, screaming when my mom told us not to, and also running away from the group with Sky.
So from this shoot, I'll probably remember just the funny moments that happened. Like, for example, we were taking a photo and it looked like that all the girls were trying to like elbow drop me, like kind of WWE move. But yeah, probably just those like funny little moments.
Mosquitoes. I can't get them.
Oh, good one.
It's biting me and I can't freaking get them off.
Take a deep breath.
I loved seeing this group together, how goofy they were, just pure friends. I will always remember the dance years with Steppy Style and what they've done for our kids, Martina and Thomas. As years go by, things change. We may take different directions, different paths, and decisions, but nobody will take away our memories. They will always stay. Such as strong friendships, they will always stay no matter what. As a photographer, I'm very happy I was able to capture these memories for the families involved. I'm very happy I was able to put a smile on their faces. This was the Dark Angel Bucket Shoot 2024.